Welcome back to This Is Not CBC.
Good evening, Canada. Tonight we're asking the question every Canadian's whispered at least once. Who does the RCMP really protect? Us or the government? Well, let's start with what the RCMP is actually supposed to be. Under the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Act, the RCMP serves as our national police service, enforcing federal laws, maintaining peace and order, preventing crime, and protecting life and property. They operate at three levels: federal, provincial, and municipal, and even handle national services like forensics, intelligence, and cybercrime. Basically, they're supposed to keep you safe, not keep you in line. But over the past few years, many Canadians have started asking whether that's still the case. It started with the Freedom Convoy back in early 2022. Canadians from across the country rolled into Ottawa to protest the vaccine mandates. Mandates that, ironically, RCMP officers themselves were under at that time. Now, while they weren't all personally enforcing those mandates, the footage was hard to forget. RCMP units moving in on peaceful demonstrators, people being pushed, pepper sprayed, and yes, even one woman trampled by a horse. It was a shocking moment for a country that prides itself on peace, order, and good government. Except at that point, it looked more like order at all costs and good government for someone else. Then came the axe tax protests. Canadians fed up with the cost of living crisis, carbon tax hikes, and being told to tighten their belts while politicians flew private. And again, who was there in full force? The RCMP, lining the streets, managing crowds, keeping the peace, or depending on who you ask, protecting the government's image. It's not just here either. Around the world, we've seen police forces acting like security guards for political elites instead of public servants for the people. And Canadians can't help but notice we're starting to look a lot like that too. Now let's fast forward to today. The Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, BC. What started as a small town agricultural dispute has turned into another example of federal force meets local resistance. The RCMP there have been assisting the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, while citizens, farmers, and animal rights activists accuse them of intimidation and overreach. Now, regardless of where you stand on that issue, one thing's become clear. The RCMP often act as the muscle for federal agencies, whether it's enforcing pandemic rules, environmental orders, or animal seizures. And that's raising a lot of questions about who they really answer to. Officially, the RCMP's duty is to serve Canadians, you, me, your neighbor, your community. But in practice, when the same officers who are supposed to protect you are standing shoulder to shoulder with bureaucrats enforcing questionable orders, the optics don't look great. And while Ottawa insists their accountability through the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission, most Canadians don't feel they have any real recourse. When you're the one being pushed out of your truck, your home, or your farm, file a complaint doesn't sound too comforting. So, where does that leave us? With a national police force stretched thin, a population losing trust, and a government that seems very comfortable having an army and red surge to do its dirty work. The RCMP were once the symbol of Canadian integrity, the straight backed Mountie who stood for fairness, law, and order. But today, more and more people are asking, have they become the government's enforcers instead of the people's protectors? Maybe the bigger question is, if the people no longer trust the police, who exactly are the police protecting? Anyway, This Is Not CBC. Stay awake, stay informed, and remember, real news doesn't need a permission slip.